Hey guys, welcome back to Just the Geek in the Garage. Today I want to do a follow-up video to my drill tap video that I made yesterday. I had a commenter on there ask me to have a demonstration just to kind of see the difference on how to use a drill tap combo bit versus just using a traditional type of tap like this. So what we're doing here today is, I have this M5 by 0.8 thread bolt, so a metric bolt, and I took out the Warrior bit set here that you can get from Harbor Freight for about 15 bucks or so. What I did for ease of demonstration, just because it'd be hard for me to do on camera, is I took a 3/16 drill bit. This happens to be a DeWalt. I like these drill bits, and I made two pilot holes in here for the taps. So basically, the main difference is, if you are going to be using a manual tap like this. So first, again, you always have to drill the hole, especially depending on the type of metal. This is just a steel. This is like I think it's about a 1/10 of an inch steel. This actually probably looks familiar to you guys. This is the thing that you get from Harbor Freight that has magnets inside that you can hang up. A lot of times I buy these, take the magnets out, and reuse them because they're usually a very good deal. You can get these for $1 or $2, and get, I think there's 8 magnets inside that are very, very strong. But for the sake of demonstration, and again, whenever you're using power tools, using these kind of tools, please make sure you're wearing the proper eye protection, things like that. So this is actually my first demonstration. I haven't even tried this off camera. So let's see. Hopefully this is gonna work, and I'm not gonna knock over the camera or anything. So again, 3/16 hole is already drilled. This is the bolt. As you can see, it will not go in there at all. Right? So it's not tapped already. So with this, with a regular traditional tap, you have to make sure that you're in there pretty centered. Sorry, this is again difficult to do on camera. You have to make sure that you're centered when you're going in. Let's see if I can. What angle is going to be best here? So you're basically cutting the threads manually. The problem that I always run into is when I'm cutting the threads is, am I cutting them straight? And a lot of times the answer is no. So let's see here. Oh, and now this thing is just spinning. Let me fix that real quick. Why is this happening? Sorry guys, let me pause for 1 second. Alright, let's keep going here. Okay, so this came a little bit loose in here, so I have to tighten it. So again, you're going to basically just continue to spin it until you can feel that it's gone all the way through. Now, depending on the thickness of the material, you're going to want to sometimes go in, back it out a little bit, let material come out, back and forth. So as we can see here, this has now gone all the way through. But one other thing that we can kind of see here, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I've gone in at an angle, and so that means that the screw is going to go in at an angle. So let's take this out and let's verify that the bolt. So you can see kind of the number of threads I just used. We have the M5 right here, so now you can kind of see inside. It looks like a normal threaded hole, where the other one still isn't. And let's do the test, and there we go. I can hand tighten it. And as you can see, it's properly in there. However, as hopefully you can also see, might not show up on camera quite as much, but it's a bit at an angle. So that's the process of a manual tap. Does it work? Yeah, obviously they've been doing this forever. The bigger the job, I think the harder it becomes to use a manual tap. Now, I have that drill tap on here. This is just kind of an older Milwaukee M12, one of their brushed tools that I got in the combo kit. So as you can see, this one has the first 1/4 inch or so is a drill bit, and then the rest of it is going to be the tap. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to have this kind of on lower speed, and then this one actually, because the hole that so I could have drilled a smaller hole, and this would still work. So this is the front part actually still goes through. But the nice thing about this is, depending on the size of material that you're using and the size of the tap, like if I'm using, like an what is that, like an M4 or something like that, I probably would have just gone directly into the metal without even drilling a hole first. But here, let's kind of just go through and you can see what it's going to do. That's it. I'm already done. So that took half a second and it's tapped. Let's grab our bolt. And not only, there it is, not only does it go in, but it's actually perfectly parallel. So for you guys asking, what's the difference? Why should I do the drill / tap bits versus doing it manually? You saw I had to go through, I had to manually drill it. In this case, I did for both of them. But you don't necessarily have to, again, depending on the material that you're doing. But again, for me, like I said kind of in my last video, the bane of these things for me is that I can rarely ever get them in straight. And I know that that's kind of a me problem. You professionals out there probably have a better solution on getting those in there. But, why would I want to struggle with something like this when I can do this? I mean, it's no different than if you're taking, a screw out. Would you rather use a manual screwdriver or would you rather use an impact or a drill? So hopefully this demonstration was useful for you guys who were asking, what the difference is and things like that. Please leave comments down below. Tell me if you prefer the manual tap, why, and what's your technique for making sure that you get the threads perfectly straight in there. And again, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.